So today I'll be going over my weekly trading process. So on Monday I traded SNDL. Tuesday I skipped, but I was watching for an opportunity to trade GTEC, but it never came. On Thursday, on Wednesday I traded FTEK. Um, on Thursday I traded IMAC, and on Friday I traded SUNW. So I traded goods like on entries and not too much on the exit, but good entry on SNDL and FTEK. I may see it was okay entry, but SUNW was a terrible trade. My biggest loss this for the week was on IMAC, but again, I traded according to my plan. It broke my risk. I was in a flush and took a bigger loss than I wanted, but still, I exited accordingly. While SUNW, it was a frustrating trade with a very choppy stock. I had bad entry because of FOMO, so fear of missing out, and it didn't actually wait for a good entry, which came like 5 to 6 minutes after my entry. And yeah, and I took us pretty much break even, but SUNW was still like the worst trade of the bunch uh, on on the week of November 9th. So here's my trade on SUNW. Focusing on ABCD pattern, right? So here I waited for the stock to make a move going up, and then a low. So know that there's a low here. It move up to make it a lower low, a lower high, which could potentially trap the shorts. And then it made a higher low, and this was a signal for an entry, a higher low. My entry at 43, I was risking 42. So I was risking like a penny. And it went to 47, which would have been, as I said last Monday, it would have been a 1 to 4 risk reward. Would have been 4 times my risk, but I got greedy. And what happened? It later dropped, and I decided to get out at 46. One thing that I could have noticed is that I should have noticed is that it doubled bottom here, and there was a low right here. So there's supports that came in on this support level, right? And eventually it moved back up to like the 50s. Very nice. I missed it, and I didn't trade it because one trade a day, and it was good. Still, just from this trade, I need to work on my exit. It's either take all of my profits or cut it if it dropped to like certain R. Like let's say if I took my profits at DR and it dropped back to 2R without making a higher move, uh, then just cut my profits, cut my losses at 2R. Or if it um, hit DRs, start taking my profits, and then it went to 4Rs, take another profits, and then it went higher to 5Rs, get out. But if it went to 4Rs, I took my profits, and then it dropped back to DRs, just get out. Something like that. Or just get out of DRs automatically, making my trading more consistent. So SNDL was a good trade on the entry with a good risk reward. It went basically went from a 4Rs to DRs. That's basically it. Still a good risk reward. My second on Tuesday, I was looking at GTEC. Why was I looking at GTEC? I was looking to trade GTEC. I was looking for like a morning all the way, and I missed this move, as well as this move, because I stopped trading at like at 9:30. And when I was really watching it, it was already like in the sevens, and then it moved to the tens. I missed it, but it's still something good to watch. On Wednesday, I traded FTEK. It was a good trade. Again, I need to work on my exit. If I'm not able to improve my partial exit, it might be better to just exit all of them at like at my profit targets, because anything more would be greedy. Just take whatever is presented. It was a good trade on the entry. As you can see, my entry was at 173, pretty much about a break of the downtrend here, and my risk was like 67. I was risking like 5 to 6 cents, and my profit target is 91 for 18 cents for 3-to-1 risk reward. And it happened. I took my profits. One key part is I should have taken my profits, here. It later dropped. Maybe it could add back here, maybe, but that is not my plan. So no plan to add and take all of it out here, because it triple top, right? It triple top around $2. And what happened? My last shares basically took in for the flush. It's fine. Good entry with good risk reward. Still a good risk reward. And then my trade on Thursday was an IMAC. IMAC. Right here. My risk reward was good for 1 to 3 risk reward. However, my entry was subpar. I did not wait for like confirmations of maybe a reversal. I entered at 203, risking no, I entered at 218, right? My risk was 210, pretty much around there. Is it? No, 208. My risk was 208. Risking 10 cents, and I was aiming for like 38 or 38 to 48. Basically 48. Yeah, around 40. Yeah, 48. And why did I say my entry was subpar? Because I did not wait for like one of my criteria for entry is for it to break the downtrend. Right here. I was giving into FOMO on like a good entry. It didn't break the downtrend here. It did a quick spike. Like it did a quick dip, and I bought it at 18, risking like pretty much 208. But again, it never broke the downtrend, and I got out on a flush. It was a good decision to actually cut my losses, because the stock never actually came back up, and it's basically resistance, really. And again, on Thursday, I stated that I was tempted to trade this part, but sticking my rule of 0 to 1 trades a day, I missed it, and it saved my hide. Because as you can see, it moved lower. It never came back up. It basically fade all day. It fade all day. So I took like a small loss here. Could have been better. Yeah. My worst trade was SUNW on Friday. Even though I only lost $1 on this stock, I stated that it was my worst trade. Why would it be my worst trade? Because of FOMO. I should have recognized that this stock was my entry was at C. My entry at 35. My risk was 25. It basically broke I didn't enter on an ABCD. I chased it. If I was to enter on an ABCD, my entry would have been the 26, 27 right around here on this quick pullback. And then risking the low, like 33, 23, 22. That would have been an ABCD. This is a higher low. This is a lower high, and this is a higher low, right? But I chased it, and it went to an entry at 35. That's my number one mistakes. Because later on, it flushes. While I was talking, I was hit with a flush and then a quick pullback. Another entry was a clear entry with a better risk reward. Is this entry right here? This right here was an ABCD. Another mistakes was putting my forcing the trade. Really, I could have gotten out in the 50s, even though the risk reward is not too good. Why? Because it was still following ABCD. The exit here would be D. I held and held. I even told myself that this is a descending triangle, that I should have gotten out, maybe break even here. Again, I held to it. It moved to like to the 62. I held again. It basically traded in the trend, as you can see here. Trend resistance and trend supports. It's also traded within range. And I should have gotten out once this support crack. Because as you can see on the other dip, it held support. It held support. On the third time, it cracked supports. So what that means is that dip buyers will be getting out like fast because it has cracked support. And I exit at 33. It was a frustrating trade because it was choppy. It moved up and then down, move up and down. That was the frustration that was not worth it. Would have been better if I got it didn't have FOMO and waited for the pullback. Would have been better because it would have been a better risk reward. Like right here, entry in the 26, 20, in the 25, 26, or 27, 28, could have gotten with 100 shares. Better risk reward. And it cracked my wrist here. I wasn't prepared for it. I was lucky that it didn't go lower. Those lock because I was chasing the bounce. As I said, if I was really for an ABCD pattern, my entry would have been in the low 20s to in the mid 20s to high 20s instead of in the mid 30s. In the mid 30s, that's a chase. It's not good to chase for me. So SUNW was a terrible trade. Even though it's the smallest loss, it's still a terrible trade. Much worse than my trade on IMAC. At least IMAC is basically hit right away and get out right away when my risk is hit. Even though it's a bigger loss than necessary, it's still a better trade because I wasn't I was mentally prepared for it to cut my losses here there. And why is this a terrible trade? I did not cut my losses. I did not take my profits. Yeah, I was forcing on the I was forcing 65. That was my goal. I was forcing 65 on this stock. It was moving only it's basically moving like 10%. It wasn't good. Still, it traded it bounces off the support. So it is still something to watch. This week, I'm green, but could have been better. Could have. Traded 4 times. Once a day, skip Tuesday. And then let's see what is the Sunday watch list. November 15th. Yep. 2020. NAVB. Recent runner. It's moving again. It was an earning winner. It fell, and right now it spiked on small volumes. But like right at the last hour, last minutes. It is something to watch. Because it did not like fade all day. It did not fade all day. It it basically moved back up again. So it is something to watch. MHLD. Again, it's an afternoon after hour mover. It was earning. So just based on this move here, I would say it's an earning winner. So it is something to watch again. But we have to see, is it a formal runner? I don't like the charts. Yeah, it has a lot of stuff going on there. But again, it moved. It might fade. It might just die on Monday, but it might present some opportunities for an ABCD pattern. Semi, CEMI. I think it's a former runner. Yes, not too big. It does have a history of being like a pump. Yeah, it does have a history of being a pump. Multi-day runner, and then big dip. That is something for sure. It looked like it's coming back up. Boomer runner too. Not a supernova, not parabolic, but it is something. Again, my focus is ABCD pattern. If if the pattern is there, I will trade it. If not, I will not. This is after hour mover. How about Friday mover? Solo. Solo is looking good. Why? It basically basing it now. It's finding support. It was a previous runner, former runner, so it is something. F cell. And it's an energy stock. I'm not sure how to talk about this stock. JCPNQ, bankruptcy play. Here's a nice chart here. Yeah. AHT. It's running. Yeah, it was a recent runner too. Basically what this means, this might have been shorts covering. People that bought it down here and rolled it down all the way, they might have been covering down here, causing it to move. Again, it is running. It might have basically just dipped Monday and more shorts are aiming for it, but it's still something. Again, I'm only looking for an ABCD pattern. So, SOL. Check. It's a former runner. Okay. Just based on how the chart is, very similar pattern. Up, down, up, down, consolidations, and then spike. What I am expecting is for it to move and consolidate like this move or this move. So SOL is something to watch. Again, I'm only aiming to buy an ABCD pattern, an ABC pattern, aiming for D. HPR, NAVB, already talking about that. MGI. This is a nice and clean chart. Ooh. MGI. I'll be expecting for you like a morning panic. It's looking like a pump. That's basically it. MGI. It will die soon. Especially this signal right there. It moved from when was the low? From the 260s all the way to the $7, 770s. So that is something. Best. I think it is GTEC. Let's see. Okay, GTEC is also something to watch. It was a recent runner. It's basically finding a base, but again, I'm only trading ABCD pattern. It could have potential. SUNW. Again, it is another stock to watch because it was one of the stock that got squeezed with SPI. That was squeezing with SPI. Recent former runner will run again. But and let's check IMAC. SNDL. Choppy. ACB. Yeah, ACB. Something to watch. So yeah, that's basically it.